silent. Will my breathing soft and low? Every shadow knows my story, but no one else will ever know. Used to talk about my future, used to dream out loud and proud, but the world has ways of teaching quiet men to leave the crowd. I've been walking through decisions that no one else could ever see. Every step a silent promise of the man I had to be. Some doors closed without a warning, some friends faded in the rain. Some nights I learned the hard way how a man absorbs his pain. So I'm moving silence, now let the loud ones chase the sound. Every mile beneath these streetlights feels like sacred ground. No applause when I arrive, no farewell when I go, just footsteps on the streetlight and a truth only I know. There were words I never answered, there were fights I didn't start, there were storms that tried to break me, but they only shaped my heart. Now the city keeps on breathing while I walk the midnight line. A gentleman without a witness, leaving echoes far behind. Streetlight fades behind my shadow, but the road is always mine. Some men stay and argue, some men stay and bleed. Some men think persistence is the only thing they need. But wisdom has a different voice, a softer kind of say. It teaches men the discipline of walking far away. He once believed in fighting for every fading flame, but the years showed him a truth hidden inside the game. Not every door deserves a knock, not every war is right. Sometimes strength is knowing when to disappear at night. That's the quiet art of walking away. No anger, no defense, just the calm some understanding of life and consequence. That's the quiet art of walking away, where dignity survives, and the peace that follows silence is the greatest win in life. The door closes behind him, the street welcomes his pace, and the night itself respects the calm upon his face. Some nights pass like strangers, some nights leave a mark, but every man remembers the night he met the dark, the night the truth arrived without a warning sign. The night he saw the difference between noise and peace of mind. He sat there with the candle, watching smoke dissolve, realizing every battle didn't have to be resolved. The years behind him whispered through the rhythm of the blues. Sometimes losing arguments is how a man can choose. There was a night he understood what silence really means. The calm beneath the surface of the life he used to lead. There was a night he understood what patience really shows, that wisdom doesn't shout, it simply learns and grows. And somewhere in that quiet bar, a different man stood up.
watched enough life to see how easily noise disguises weakness. And in a dim corner of the bar, a man studies the room like a reader returning to an old familiar book. He's seen the same characters before, the loud dreamers, the restless fighters, the ones who believe the night belongs to them. But he also knows the night eventually belongs to silence. Quiet men understand. They understand patience because they have it. They understand patience because they have waited. They understand loss because they have carried it. They understand distance because sometimes walking away is the only honorable move. There was a time he believed every battle must be answered, every insult must be corrected, every misunderstanding explained. Now he knows better. Some things deserve silence, some people deserve distance, and some nights deserve nothing but calm. Quiet men understand. They understand the strength of restraint, the dignity of composure, and the strange peace that arrives after pride finally sits down. Quiet men understand why silence is sometimes the final answer.
Every city has a rhythm after midnight settles in, when the noise of day is fading and reflection can begin. I've been walking through the silence where the honest thoughts remain, where a man can face his shadow without needing to explain. I remember who I used to be before the world turned cold, before I learned that quiet man often carry hearts of gold. Every promise that was broken, every lesson carved in stone, build the calm I walk with now, through these streets I call my own. Midnight knows my name, knows the roads I've crossed,
calls a quiet victory in the battles I have lost. Midnight holds my truth in the glow of distant signs, where a silent man keeps moving while the world falls out of line. Somewhere in another lifetime, I might have stayed and fought, but wisdom comes from walking when the fight ain't worth the cost. So I'll leave another corner with the city far behind, knowing every step in silence leaves a past where it belongs. Midnight knows my name, but the world never will. Midnight knows my name, no, never will.
He had words inside his chest, they never crossed his lips. Something stayed between a heartbeat and the whiskey that he sipped. He watched people come and go, watched love arrive and disappear. But the strongest men in silence learn to carry what they hear. There was someone he once trusted, there was something he once lost, but the night don't ask for answers, and regret has its own cost. So he walks the empty avenue with a calm nobody knows. Some men fight their wars in public, some just let the silence grow. And the things he never said build the man he is tonight. Every secret kept in darkness helped him walk into the light. He don't need to raise his voice, he don't need to make a sound. Some of life's most honest stories never travel past the ground.
If you passed him on the corner, you might never understand that 1,000 quiet battles made that steady kind of man. He just nods and keeps on walking through the glow of distant cars, leaving pieces of his history hidden live inside the heart. After the crowd is gone, the room finally exhales. Chair stands still, the piano rests its hands, and the bartender lowers the lights. The night has changed its tone. A single man remains at the table, not because he has nowhere to go, but because quiet moments reveal more truth than loud ones ever did. The laughter that filled this room already belongs to the past, and the arguments have lost their importance. After the crowd is gone, the truth begins to show. After the crowd is gone, a man finally knows. After the crowd is gone, when the noise disappears, the quiet voice inside him is the only one he hears. He remembers younger nights when he chased excitement, when every moment demanded reaction. But time rearranges ambition. Now he prefers the calm, the kind that arrives when nothing needs to be proven. He studies the candle flame, the last movement in the room, how something so small can still light the darkness. After the crowd is gone, the truth begins to show. After the crowd is gone, a man finally knows. After the crowd is gone, under midnight skies, silence becomes the answer to questions he survived. Soon he'll stand and leave without drawing attention. Just another gentleman walking quietly back into the night, and the room will feel different, though no one saw him go. There's a seat beside the window where the streetlights paint the floor, a place where tight decisions don't feel heavy anymore. He sits there every Friday with a drink he barely knows, watching strangers chase tomorrow while he studies what he chose. He remembers younger evenings when the world was loud and bright, when he thought that every answer had to win another fight. But the years of quiet rhythm that a restless heart must learn, sometimes peace is simply knowing which bridges not to burn. At a seat by the window where the midnight drifts along, a man rewrites his story through the patience of a song. At a seat by the window where the shadows slowly grow, he discovers quiet wisdom only older hearts can know. Soon he'll leave without a witness, step into the waiting street, carrying the calm inside him like a victory complete. Had a seat by the window where the midnight drifts along, a man rewrites his story through the patience of a song. The last light on the bar burns low, soft gold on an empty glass. Outside the city moves too fast, inside the night moves slow. A gentleman sits without speaking, like a man who's already decided. Some things are better carried quietly than explained to a crowded room. He remembers the years when he argued, when every truth had to be loud, when pride walked ahead of wisdom and silence felt like defeat. But time has its own instruction hidden inside
So he listens
to the room breeze,
to the brushes,
to the brushes on the drums,
to the on the drum,
to the old guitar bending softly like a memory that refuses to leave. Soon he'll stand without a word, and the chair will stay behind. But the quiet weight he carried in will still be in there. He doesn't watch the clock. He measures time and choices in the things he walk away from and the ones he chose to keep. The bar is nearly empty, but that suits him just fine, because silence reveals more truth than conversation ever could. He learned patience the hard way, watching loud men lose control, watching ambition burn bright and fade like cheap neon lights. So now he waits before speaking, he'll listen before deciding, because a calm mind outlives the noise of the moment. Some men chase the night, some men fight the night, but the wise one just move through it. But the road ahead will know exactly who walked it. The piano fades into the evening like a memory growing thin. Candlelight along the counter, lets the deeper night begin. Every chair holds someone's story, Every glass remembers pain, but tonight the room grows softer, like the calm after the rain. There's a man beside the window, watching headlights drift away. He's not chasing old tomorrows, he's just letting time replay all the choices he once questioned, all the words he never said, built the quiet understanding that now lives inside his head. When the room falls quiet, truth begins to breathe. When the room falls quiet, a man can finally see that the loudest roads behind him never let him home, and the strength he needed most was learning to walk alone. Outside, taxis pass like whispers, and the moon hangs soft and low. But the calm inside his chest tonight is something he now knows. When the room falls quiet and the music disappears, a man can hear the wisdom hidden underneath the years. There was a time he chased the noise, believed in louder dreams, believed the world would notice if he pulled the hardest schemes. But years of quiet teachers, hidden in defeat, and wisdom sometimes arrives on tired and patient feet. Now he sits beside the window with a drink he barely sips, watching strangers chase tomorrow with restless fingertips. The city spins around him, but he moves at his own pace, because peace is not a trophy. It's a calm you have to face. Nothing left to prove tonight, nothing left to say, just a quiet understanding that he chose a wiser way. Nothing left to prove tonight, under candlelight so thin, the loud may chase attention, but the calm will always win. Just the silent satisfaction of the man that he has made.
There's a moment in the evening when a man decides to go, not from anger, not from weakness, just because he finally knows some rule never held his future, some people never change. So he folds the night around him and disappears again. He don't slam the door behind him, he don't leave a bitter word, because dignity is louder than the anger people heard. Every step away from chaos, every mile beneath the sky is another quiet victory for a man who chose goodbye. A gentleman leaves quietly, no drama in his stride, just the calm of understanding and the truth he can't deny. A gentleman leaves quietly when the story's run its course, 'cause walking out in silence is sometimes the strongest force. Years from now they might remember that he vanished overnight, but they'll never know the reasons that were written in that night.
just another calm departure. Under streetlights soft and dim, where the city kept its secret and the road welcomed him in. Some goodbyes are whispered to the empty midnight air. There's a place inside the evening where the music turns to smoke, where the stories stay unspoken and the tired men don't joke. A gentleman sits in the corner, listening more than he speaks, because quiet rooms reveal the truth the daylight never keeps. He remembers every failure like a map he used to grow, every loss a hidden doorway to the man he came to know. Not through glory, not through praise, but through patience, built across the years and days. There's a place where silence lives in the heart of wiser men, where the loudest storms of youth never reach them again. There's a place where silence lives in the calm behind their eyes, where the truth of who they are no longer needs disguise.
candlelight burns low, and a man sits in the corner, watching everything he knows. He don't rush the passing hours, he don't chase the fading crowd, just a gentleman in silence, where the music plays out loud. Years ago he loved too reckless, spoke too soon and trusted wrong. Now his calm is built on patience and the wisdom of the strong. Every glass reflects a story, every chord recalls a past. But a man who learns from silence finds a peace that's built to last. Oh, midnight gentleman tonight, in the quiet amber light, doesn't need to say a word, still his presence can be heard. Midnight gentleman tonight, midnight gentleman tonight, watching life through wiser eyes. Every scar became a lesson, every loss a quiet pride. Soon he'll stand and leave the building, fade into the empty street, like a shadow no one notices, with a calm that feels complete. Midnight gentleman tonight, in the quiet amber light, doesn't need to say a word, still his presence can be heard. Midnight gentleman, midnight gentleman tonight, watching life through wiser eyes. Every scar became a lesson, every loss a quiet pride. The night remembers gentlemen, even when the crowd forgets. One light on the top floor, building mostly black. The cleaning crew already gone, no audience to react. Tie loose and sleeves rolled clean, paperwork aligned, not chasing recognition, just refining the design. Clock ticks without emotion, time don't sympathize. You either build deliberately or get consumed by noise. Bass steady like my breathing, drums barely touch the air.
There's a power in consistency most men never bear. 2 a.m. office light, quiet empire inside while they sleep and talk tomorrow. I prepare tonight. 2 a.m. office light, no applause required. The loud burn out by morning, the discipline get hired. I've learned to detach from ego, detach from quick acclaim, because reputation built in silence outlasts a famous name. Emails never show the hours that contracts hide the grind, but foundations laid in darkness are the strongest you can find. Nobody claps for preparation, nobody sees restraint, but when the moment finally comes, precision never faints. Light switches off behind me, elevator hums down slow. City still asleep, but I know. You miss me, babe. You never stand at the edge of the brink. He never raised his voice in rage, never fought for center stage. When the room was filled with heat, he leaned back, crossed his feet. He watched empires rise and fall, never needed to stand tall, because height ain't measured loud, and strength don't beg a crowd. He lost things he won't explain, buried pride beneath the pain, folded grief inside his coat, never let it reach his throat. Some men break and make a sound, some just tighten up their crown. He never raised his voice, still the room respected his choice. Didn't threaten, didn't plead, didn't advertise his need. He moved slow, he moved wide. Steel was hidden in his eyes. When betrayal knocked his door, he didn't pace across the floor. He just recalculated lines, cutting ties in silent signs. No revenge in what he planned, just distance drawn by steady hand. He understands the cost of war and what restraint is for. Candlelight reflects his face, years of discipline and grace. He doesn't rush to prove he's right, he just sleeps well at night. He knows storms will come again, but doesn't shake that man. He never raised his voice, still he always had a choice. Walk away or stay and fight. He chose calm over might, and that's the kind of poise that never needs a noise. You won't hear him when he leaves, but you'll feel it when he's gone.
The bar is almost empty now, just low light and a tune. I sit where shadows gather beneath a fading moon. Not every presence enters with spectacle or flame. Some alter the temperature without announcing their name. I've learned to speak in fewer words, let silence stretch between, 'cause meaning grows in space where noise has never been. The drums brush slow and patient, guitar bends like memory. There's gravity and stillness when you earn serenity. This is the weight of presence, unspoken but defiant. You feel it in the posture of a disciplined mind. This is the weight of presence, calm but intense. Power without volume, influence without pretense. Don't correct misunderstandings, don't chase every doubt. Clarity doesn't argue, it simply plays out.
Some men fill a room with a noise, then vanish with the air. I remain long after, because restrained was there. When I stand, the room adjusts. No one knows exactly why.
Wind slides down the avenue, cold collar raised high. Streetlights stretch long silhouettes under an indifferent sky. Guitar bends like distant sirens, but softer, more control. I've traded reaction for something cold to go. I don't interrupt the chaos, I let it pass me by. Observation builds a kingdom noise can't occupy. Every move I make tonight was chosen hours ago. Impulse lost its influence a long, long time ago. Cold street elegance, measured and refined. No sudden declarations, just a disciplined mind. Cold street elegance, purpose in disguise. The strongest force in motion, rarely advertised. Echo lightly, concrete doesn't care. But I built a reputation with the way I bear. Pressure without spectacle, conflict without flame. Because composure under tension outlives any name. Let them misunderstand me, let them speculate. Mystery is leverage when you operate. Cold street elegance, calm in every move. You don't need permission when you have nothing to prove. Just shadows folding inward as I disappear from view. Just shadows folding inward. As I disappear from view. Last train already gone, platform empty, humming low. Fluorescent lights flicker overhead like thoughts I let go. Suitcase by my polished shoe,
I'm not going anywhere. Some departures happen in word. No ticket, no declared fare. Steel tracks stretch into darkness, parallel discipline straight. I learned long ago, direction doesn't need applause to validate. Bass rolls under distant engine, guitar been slow and thin. I don't rush decisions anymore. I let clarity settle in. On this midnight platform, I stand without a sound. The loud chase destinations, I claim my ground. No dramatic exit, no visible flame, just a quiet recalibration no one can name. There was a time I boarded quickly, afraid of being left behind. Now I watch opportunity reveal their design. Patience is a private weapon, restrain a tailored suit. I move when movement matters, every action absolute. The city sleeps behind me, unaware I chose to become the kind of man who simply knows. Train lights vanish in the distance, silence settles again. Nothing changed for anyone else, but everything shifted within.
The candle burns but never trembles, just steady in the draft, like a man who learned composure from the weight of aftermath. Guitar hums in amber circles, soft against the glass. I don't speak about the storms I've already let pass. Some men spark and fade in seconds, bright but quickly gone. I chose to be a lower flame, the kind that lingers on. You won't hear my history spilled across the bar, but every scar I carry rewrote who you think we are. Low flame character, burning deep inside. No need for wild reactions, no ego left to hide. Low flame character, calm quietest man in
restrain its power when pressure fills the air. When others lose their posture, I simply stay aware. The drums brush slow behind me, like footsteps through the night. I don't chase control loudly, I just hold it tight. The flame burns low, still steady. Warm along the bleeding soul, through the edges of the night, I've drawn plans inside my mind, far from public sight. Every setback became structure, every scar a beam. While they chased applause and credit, I redesigned the scheme. Candlelight reflects precision across a steady gaze. You don't see the architecture built across the years and days. No dramatic declarations, no theatrical display. Discipline became the language I speak without delay. Silent blueprint underneath the calm, framework forged in flame. You won't see it forming, but it's shaping the game. Silent blueprint, quiet design, patience as the key. The loud construct illusions I construct quietly. Every move tonight is anchored to something deeper still. Emotion doesn't lead me, alignment bends my will. The bar grows dimmer by the minute, but clarity grows bright. Some men shine in daylight, others own the night. Glass empty, decision intact, blueprints acute. Low light on a wooden floor, same seat like 1,000 nights before. I don't rush the closing hour. I've seen what comes from borrowed power. Fast men fade like neon signs. I prefer the long designs. Every handshake, every nod, every silence carries weight of God. I don't gamble what I build. I don't speak unless it's real. There were winters in my chest, times I carried what I never confessed. But storms don't last forever long. They shape the spine, they tune the song. I learned restrained the hardest way, by watching loud men decay. Measured steps in low light glow. I don't chase, I let it flow. No parade when I arrive, no collapse when I survive. I don't move to be admired, I move when the moment's wired. Betrayal tastes like bitter rye, burns slow but it clarifies. You see who stands and who just talks, who builds walls and who just walks. I cut ties without a seam, no broken glass, no gasoline, just distance drawn with steady hands. That's how a quiet man commands. You won't hear me stake a claim. I don't compete inside that game, because the loudest in the room usually meet the quickest doom. There's a difference between noise and force, between reaction and real course, between a temper and control, between attention and a soul. Measured steps, deliberate pace. I don't need to win the race, while others shout to feel alive. I sharpen edges, I survive. In the dark, my vision's clear. Silence is my atmosphere. When I leave no trace. But the room remembers grace. I leave no trace. But the room remembers grace. Smoke drifts thin across the ceiling. The soft percussion mars the hour. There's elegance and hesitation when it's rooted in true power. I observe before engaging, let the moment fully land. Reaction is for impulse, strategy is for a man. Every choice I make tonight was considered days ago. You see calm across my features, you don't see the undertow. Bass hums deep beneath the surface, like decisions sealed in stone. The strongest moves are subtle and often made alone. Calculated grace in motion, no rush to intervene. The loud may chase attention, I master what's unseen. Calculated grace in silence, steady as a tide. There's power in containment when ego steps aside. Urgency was speaking far too soon. Patience builds advantage underneath the moon. So I let the room reveal itself, let patterns come to light. A man who studies shadows navigates the night. You call it quiet, I call it control. Flickers once, the candle flickers once, the candle flickers once, the candle flickers once. There's a rhythm in the distance between each measured stride. Not hesitation, precision, not fear, just discipline, pride. The bass hums like a heartbeat underneath the skyline's side. I've learned that silence carries farther than a restless battle cry. Traffic lights blinking cycles, red to green to gold. The world keeps rushing forward, I move control. You won't see the calculation, you won't read it in my face. Emotion isn't weakness, but neither is restraint. In the space between footsteps, decisions are made. Not loud, not frantic, just quietly wait. In the space between heartbeats, the future aligns. The loud chase a moment, I master the timing. Scream for attention, neon begs to be seen. But the sharpest minds in any room move in between. I observe the intersections, watch patterns repeat. You can learn more from silence than from anyone who speaks. I've let anger dissolve itself, let ego fall apart, because composure under pressure is a form of art. Necessary, no dramatic sound, just steady breathing in midnight air. A city unaware that something irreversible shifted there. Walk the empty streets, the city of sweet. Every corner holds secrets I keep. For everything, the lights are low. I move like a shadow, steady and slow. Windows glow with lives I don't touch. I pass unnoticed, it doesn't take much. Every glance I steal, every whispered sign, I leave no trace on the silent ground. Veil of night, my silent guide. I move through darkness, nowhere to hide. No one sees, no one knows. I walk in silence with a mystery flow. bass from steady, the guitar cries, drums whisper like midnight sky. I measure each step, I weigh each breath, a quiet light between life and death. I'm a call when the city roars, a man unseen, but I'm closing doors. The night is mine, the streets my stage, a quiet presence, a subtle sage. Every night, my silent guide, I move through darkness, nowhere to hide. No one sees, no one knows. I walk inside where mystery falls. The dawn may call, the shadows to fade, but I remain a man unafraid. The bar hums softly, low and mellow. Candlelight flickers on polished surfaces. Guitar bends low, phone and analog. Drums brush with gentle precision. I sip slowly, savoring more than whiskey, tasting chalices, measured dots, quiet victories. No one sees the calm intensity within, yet every gesture is deliberate, every breath precise. Observation, patrons drift past. I'm aware of my focus, every glance, every movement, a story I track. There only comes a theater of subtle rhythms. I move through it like a ghost, fully present. Eternal thought I carry without display. Decisions hand over steady, composed intention. Candlelight mirrors my deliberate calm. Every flicker a reflection of quiet mastery. When the night ends, I rise softly, coating in. Step into empty streets, unseen, unremarked. A gentleman in thought, a shadow in motion, carrying the intensity of silence with purpose. Clock ticks slow, the streets are bare. I walk alone with time to spare. Every lamplight flickers in my eyes. I move through darkness where silence lies. People rush past, chasing their dreams. I move at my own quiet streams. Every choice deliberate, every step my own. I build my kingdom from shadows alone. The long night walk, my secret place. Through smoky streets, I leave no trace. No one to follow, no one to see. The life I lead in quiet liberty. Guitar hums soft, bass flows low, drums whisper stories only I know. I breathe in the night, exhale restrained. A silent man, deliberate and quaint. Every alley, every street a guide. I move like a ghost with nothing to hide. No need for eyes, no need for praise. I walk my path through midnight haze and a long night walk. my secret place. Through smoky streets I leave no trace. No one to follow, no one to see. The life I lead in quiet liberty. Dawn breaks slowly, but I remain a lone shadow, free of chain. Where eyes fail to see, through empty streets, completely free. The night is thick, the air profound. I move in silence, without a sound. The city hums, unaware of me. I watch, I listen, I let it be. Each movement measured, each choice discreet. A life in shadows, quiet and complete. The invisible man, moving alone through smoky nights, a path my own. No one notices, no one knows the life I lead as the night flows. Guitar hums warm, bass holds the ground. Drums tick soft, a subtle sound. Every heartbeat, a note in my song. I move through night, where I belong. No need for eyes, no need for praise. I carve my journey through smoky haze. The streets are mine, the night my friend. I walk in silence until the end. The invisible man, moving alone through smoky nights, a path my own. No one notices, no one knows the life I lead as the night flows. The sun will rise and disappear, a lone shadow, no one near. Smoke drifts lazily, catching the candlelight. Warm guitar notes float, bass hums beneath the night is calm. You're charged with thought. Brush drums whisper a rhythm I follow. Segment 2, contemplation. Every decision I make, weighed in silence. Life's battles carried without spectacle. I sit, observing, absorbing the gentle chaos. The quiet man who measures each step deliberately. Segment 3, observation. The bartender wipes a glass, smiles faintly. Strangers laugh, smoke curls from a cigarette. I see everything remain unseen, a shadow in the dim light. Presence felt but silent. Segment 4, self-reflection. Candlelight flickers across my lined hands. Each line a story, each breath a choice. I move through the night with calm intensity. Decisions like stones laid carefully, unannounced. Segment 5, segment 5. Segment 4, segment 5. When the hour fades, I rise, coat over arm. Step outside, leaving streets untouched by my presence. A gentleman carried by deliberate motion. Silence trailing him like a shadow.
They won't hear me leave this place. No door slam, no goodbye. Just a space where I once stayed. And the echo asking why. I don't settle old debates. I don't write my name in stone. I just close unfinished gates and walk home alone. I don't carry explanations, they weigh more than truth. Some men need validation, I just need proof. He left only shadows on a midnight walk. No trail to follow, no phone call. He didn't burn bridges, he didn't stay. He just adjusted and walked away. Rain erased my footprints clean, like I was never there. Every loss sharpened me, every
silence prepared. I don't linger in the past, I don't threaten the future. I learned how to move fast without losing structure. He left only shadows, nothing to explain, no tears to swallow, no visible pain. He didn't shout his name, he didn't fall apart. He just played the game with a guarded heart. Some men fade by accident, some disappear by choice. I learned how to be present without making noise. I don't need revenge, I don't need reward. I just quietly end what no longer belongs. Morning finds an empty street like it always does. Another night admits defeat because I was. He left only shadows, no witness, no scar, just a calm tomorrow. Wherever you are, if you search the dark, you won't find his face, just a quiet mind in an empty place. Only shadows and silence. Only shadows and silence. Footsteps on pavement, soft as a sigh. The city watches, but it doesn't know why. I pass the neon glow, the late night haze. Every glance I steal, every quiet phrase. A man in motion, unseen, unclaimed. Actions deliberate, never named. I take what I need, leave nothing behind. A careful eye, a careful mind. I move in silence, I strike without sound. The streets are my kingdom, no one around. I feel every heartbeat, I see every light. I live in the shadows, letting the world pass by. The guitar hums low, like the pulse in my chest. Warm bass and drum guide me west. I'm a man who knows the weight of a choice. I speak with my eyes, I silence my voice. Every night a canvas, every step a line. I trace the city, the dark, the divine. No applause, no fame, no no shallow praise, just the rhythm of night, the quiet ways. I move in silence, I strike without sound. The streets are my kingdom, no one around. I feel every heartbeat, I see every light. I live in the shadows, letting the world pass by. Crooked moves, quiet heart. In the night, I play my part. Quiet moves, quiet heart. In the night, I play my part. Silence paid the bill tonight. Before I even moved, the room felt lighter when I stood, like it approved. I didn't know the past a thing, not even grief. I learned what quiet settling brings is relief. Men confuse noise for being real. I've done it too. But silence sharpens how you feel. It's true. The bar reflected less of me as I prepared to step back into what could be repaired. Jazz lingered like a final thought. You don't resist. Some lessons can't be taught, they persist. A button come into my chest, like armor thin, not to protect me from the rest, but from within. Silence paid the bill, I walk free. Didn't ask who I become. It gave me distance, gave me task and drum. I disappear without a sound, as planned. A man who knows when he's been found moves on. Silence paid the bill and stay. And stay. I walk the streets where the city exhales, neon reflection tracing my trail. The night is heavy, thick with thought. Every step deliberate, every lesson taught. Windows glow with stories I can't tell. Faces drift past like a passing bell. I move unnoticed, a shadow in grace. A man who treads softly, leaving no trace. Silent horizon, I chase the night. No need for noise, I follow the light. Every move measured, every breath mine. I move in silence through space and time. Warm bass hums like a heartbeat low. Electric strings weep with a subtle glow. Drums whisper like rain on the stone. I take the night as my very own. Every corner holds secrets, quiet and deep. I walk alone, yet the city keeps its pulse, its rhythm. But I remain a moving enigma in the midnight rain. Silent horizon, I chase the night. No need for noise, I follow the light. Every move a measure, every breath mine. I move in silence through space and time. The dawn arrives, the shadows fade. A man in the night, a path he made. The fog rolls in, heavy and slow. I walk where only shadows go. Street lights flicker, the night is mine. Every step deliberate, every move fine. I watch the world from corners unseen, a quiet observer, calm and keen. The city speaks, but I don't reply. I leave no footprints where I pass by. Steps in the fog, I move unseen. A low man's journey, steady, serene. No one notices, no one knows. The path I walk is the one I chose. Electric guitar hums, space flows warm. Drums are subtle, guiding through the storm. I take my time, my way, each choice, a quiet existence, a deliberate voice. Through empty streets on a neon glow, I carve my path, soft and slow. Every night a canvas, every step a line. I walk in silence, everything mine. Steps in the fog, I move unseen. A lone man's journey, steady, serene. No one notices, no one knows. The path I walk is the one I chose. Oh, oh. The dawn creeps in, shadow dissolve. I fade into the city, problems unsolved.
The streets are mine when the world's asleep. I move like a secret the night will keep. Footsteps soft on the asphalt gray. A quiet rhythm carries me away. I watch the lives that blaze and burn. I take my time, I never yearn. The night speaks low, I listen close. Every decision I carefully chose. Midnight confessions whispered in the dark. I move unseen, leaving no mark. The city hums, but I am still a shadow walking with iron will. Oh, oh, oh. Warm guitar hums, bass flows deep. Drums like whispers, the night to keep. I carry my purpose like a gentle flame. A man in silence, unknown by name. No applause, no eyes to meet. Just the quiet streets beneath my feet. I am the calm, the storm, the man, moving in silence according to plan. Midnight confessions whispered in the dark. I move unseen, leaving no mark. The city hums, but I am still
shadow walking with iron will. Night retreats, I fade away, a lone gentleman until the day.
Footsteps soft against the cold pavement. Every night carries a quiet statement. I watch, I wait, I never speak. A silent figure in the city's mystique. Streetlights flicker, casting smoky halos. Life rushes past like a fleeting shadow. I move with purpose, never in haste. Every choice considered, nothing weighs. Shadows whisper low, secrets in my stride. I move unseen, with nothing to hide. No eyes follow, no one to see. The quiet rhythm that lives in me. Guitar hums warm, bass holds me steady. Drums like a pulse, calm and ready. I navigate life with hands in control. A man of silence, a measured soul. Every street a canvas, every corner a frame. I leave no mark, yet I play the game. The night is mine, the city my stage. A quiet dancer, unseen sage. Shadows whisper low, secrets in my stride. I move unseen, with nothing to hide. No eyes follow, no one to see. The quiet rhythm that lives in me. I fade into the night's embrace, a gentleman's journey, quiet grace. I don't rush into conclusions, I let the night explain. I've seen fast men lose direction, chasing temporary gain. My shoes know every corner, my hands know when to wait. I don't fight my inner hunger,
I negotiate. No panic in my breathing, no fear in my tone. I learned the art of leaving without feeling alone. I make slow decisions with a steady mind. No revisions once the line is drawn in time. I don't look back for approval, I don't ask for consent. Every move is surgical, every second well spent. Street clocks lie about the hour, time bends when you're calm. I felt weakness turn to power when I stopped sounding the alarm. I don't drink to forget, I sip to remember. Every loss I've ever made my silence colder. I make slow decisions, no applause, no sign, no collisions with what's already mine. I don't explain my method, I don't soften my stance. I just walk the path I measure and let life dance. Haste is a language I don't speak, desperation ain't my style. I've learned patience from the weak and restrained from denial. Still waters, heavy soul, every step reinforced. I don't lose control, I become the force. Morning tries to catch my back, but I'm already gone. Another choice perfectly intact before the dawn. I make slow decisions, that's how I survive. No permission, just a quiet drive. If regret comes knocking, it won't recognize my face. I was already walking at my own pace. Slow steps, no regrets. Slow steps, no regrets. The bar hums softly, lights dim and golden. I cradle my glass, watching ripples like distant memories. Guitar bends low, bass hums steady beneath it. Drums brush like rain, tapping on a silent window. I think of the life I navigate quietly. Every victory understated, every struggle contained. The conversations flow by, I nod politely. Yet no one senses the deliberation behind my eyes. A stranger laughs, the sound light but fleeting. I trace the movement of shadows along the wall. I remember yesterday, the choices I made, all weighed, all silent, all unseen. I tilt my glass, feeling the warmth linger. The candle flickers in reflection, a private stage. I am here yet not, a presence felt not seen. A gentleman holding the night in his hands. As the hour wanes, I rise slowly. The chair slides without protest, leaving no mark. Outside the world moves unaware. Inside I carry calm intensity, discretion. The night is deep, the city wide. I walk where secrets like to hide. Every step deliberate, slow refined. A shadow moving, leaving nothing behind. Windows shimmer, streets lie bare. I breathe in the midnight, the smoky air. Every heartbeat, a note in my song, a quiet rhythm that carries me along. Echoes in the dark, calling my name. I move in silence, free of the game. No one noticing, no one knows the quiet strain in which I grow. Warm guitar hums, bass holds me near. Drums whisper secrets only I hear. I watch, I wait, I act with care. A lone gentleman, unaware. Life is loud, but I am calm. I navigate nights with quiet charm. No one to follow, no one to see. I am the man I choose to be. Echoes in the dark, calling my name. I move in silence, free of the game. dissolves, but I remain a shadow walking through the midnight rain.